Hello, BoobTube. This is the man from Orion, and today we are going to talk about the BLM. The BLM decided today to come out with a list. Well, it wasn't today, it was a few days ago, but they came out with a list of 10 things that Whitey can do for the BLM. When I say Whitey, I mean basically anybody who is white, because according to the BLM, we're all evil and we're all privileged, and apparently we just all have sacks of money sitting in our closets that we took from brown people. So I went over this list, and I've got to put it out there. I've got to go over this list. This list was written by the co-founder of Black Lives Matter in Louisville, Kentucky. Her name is Chanel Helm, and there's 10 items on this list. So number one, white people, if you don't have any descendants, will your property to a black or brown family, preferably one that lives in generational poverty. Yeah. I'm not going to do that. If I have no descendants, I will it to a church, and the church can do what they please with it. Number two, white people, if you're inheriting property you intend to sell upon acceptance, give it to a brown or black family. You're bound to make that money back in some white privileged way. Yeah, I know. I've just got ways to make $200,000 just oozing out of my pockets everywhere. Don't all white people, don't we secretly do that? Don't white people that drive rotten old pile of crap cars actually have a Lambo sitting at home in their garage? Obviously they do. And we're just hiding it from everybody. We wait till all the brown people are gone, and then we have a big frickin' white people party where we all show off our money and we all show off our fancy clothes and our expensive cars and our beautiful homes. Get a flippin' grip. All right, number three. If you are a developer or realty owner of multifamily housing, build a sustainable complex in a brown or black blighted neighborhood, and let black or brown people live in it for free. Okay, so if you're a developer, go to the crappiest part of town, and there's a reason it's crappy. It wasn't always crappy. When the buildings that were built there, they weren't built there out of old pallets. Okay, they were nice at one time. They became crappy because people ignored them and they let them go to shit. So you're supposed to go in there and build new housing and then give this housing away for free. Why? Why would any private citizen who is not Bill Gates do this? Yeah, everything you've just made for the last 15 years in your life, I want you to go throw it into a shithole. Go flush it down the toilet, go light it on fire, because that is what they will be doing. That's what you're asking them to do. All right, so number four, white people, if you can afford to downsize, give up your home you own to a black or brown family, preferably a family of generational poverty. If I can afford to downsize, give up my home. Really, just hand it over. Here's the keys. Have a nice life. I'm going to go live in a closet. Oh, man. Number five. White people, if any of the people you intend to leave your property to are racist assholes, change the will and will your property to a black or brown family, preferably a family of generational poverty. So if I decide to will my home or my belongings to my daughter, who is not a racist, by the way, but even if she was, she's my daughter. She's my blood. She's my kin. She's not running around with a hood on her head. She's not running around throwing up seagulls. She's someone that had to work very hard for everything she has in her life. And I had to work very hard for everything in my life. Nobody in my history passed away that left me anything. I've lost my mother, I've lost my brother, and I didn't get anything out of those. It wasn't because they didn't want to give me things, it's because they didn't have anything. They didn't have anything because of the system we have, which apparently is all about Whitey. Basically screwed them over and ran them both into so much debt. My brother, who was a military veteran, had a heart condition, and he was told he had 2 to 5 years to live. I took him in. He was living with me. We were seeing doctors. He was starting to feel better, but it hadn't changed his condition. Tried getting him on disability, and our wonderful government said no. So we applied again through an attorney, and they said no. So then the third time was coming up, and my brother told me, this is the last time I'm going to attempt this, and they said no. Now, the attorney said after that, it's going to go to court, and everything will be fine, because we had all the doctors, transcripts, everything else. And my brother said, you know what, if the government says I'm healthy enough to work, I'm going to go back to work, because he felt better. And 3 months later, he dropped dead. I lost my brother because of this absolutely effed up government and the way things are. We're pandering to a bunch of people who got, oh God, I can't work because I've got a funny eye, or I can't work because my goldfish died, and I'm severely depressed because of that. People who've worked their whole life, who genuinely have a life-ending issue, cannot get on disability because the system is so clogged with crap. And this bitch is sitting there saying, give us what you have. All right. Well, we're halfway through the list. Number 6, white people, rebudget your monthly so you can donate to black funds for land purchasing. I got a better idea. I barely scrape by as it is, and most of the people I know live paycheck to paycheck. So here's a thought. Blow it out your ass. I'm not giving you a damn thing. I will burn my money before I do that. Number 7, white people, especially white women, because this is y'all's specialty. Nosy Jenny and meddling Kathy, get a racist fired. Y'all know what the fuck they be saying. You be complicit when you ignore them. Get your boss fired because they racist too. I've looked at a lot of textbooks in this country, and I have never seen a textbook that uses the word y'all and uses the enunciations of these words in the way she does, and she writes them out like this. This is not me trying to be a smart ass. This is actually how she wrote it out, and apparently you're supposed to just go get racists fired. Now, keep in mind that these are people who believe anybody who is white is racist, and that black people cannot be racist. Number 8. Backing up number 7. This should be easy, but all those sheetless Klan, Nazis, and other little dickin' white men who will all be returning to work, get their ass fired. Call the police even. They look suspicious. Okay. Now, I don't like the Klan. I don't like Nazis. And I don't like the white supremacists. It is as bad on the white man as the BLM is on the black people. And I don't like the fact that they exist. But if you're going to try and get somebody fired, you better have a flippin' picture of their smiling ass at a frickin' rally throwing up a cigar with a swastika on their arm. Because you're talking about screwing with people's lives. And I'm willing to bet that most of the people she wants to do this aren't going to bother to do any research. They're just going to say, I saw Timmy over there look at Billy the black man kind of funny one day. And I'm betting you he's racist. Let's get him fired. Yeah. Okay. Number 9. Okay, backing up number 8. If any white person at your work or as you enter in spaces and you overhear a white person praising the actions from yesterday, first get a pic, get their name and more info. Hell, find out where they work, get them fired, but certainly address them. And if you need to, you got hands, use them. So basically what she's saying is if anybody shows any sin, now this would be Charlottesville is what she's referring to. And I can honestly tell you that I don't think anybody outside of an insane asylum is happy that this woman died. Nobody is happy that this idiot drove a car down an alley and killed this person. But you had a congregation of the sewers of the world there with the Nazis and the white supremacists and these people that just are just piles of crap. And they decided it was a good idea to close the park that they were having their legal protest in and march them out right through a bunch of Antifa and Black Bloc and BLM people who, well, what do you think is going to happen? You just push two groups together that hate each other. They started a fight, and there was a brawl, and there was this, and there was that. And this road that this guy drove down was supposed to be closed. Yet it was wide open. Now, I'm not saying it's the police's fault. It's the guy behind the wheel's fault. But if we look at this from a bigger picture, they had their little protest. They weren't going to win. This statue was going to be taken down. It's going to be put in a museum. It's going to be put somewhere where people don't have to look at it every day. It would have been done by 2 o'clock Saturday. Antifa and everybody else who wanted to counter-protest could come in on Saturday afternoon and all day Sunday and have their protest for removing this item. Nobody would have been beating up each other, but where's the fun in that? Because these Antifa people and BLM people, they're going to these things to fight. They're showing up with gas masks and bottles and rocks and shields and helmets. Half the time they cover their faces. They are there to fight. They are not there to have a peaceful negotiation. I'm not saying I'm not saying these people were good people in any way, shape, or form. And the people that were genuinely there as representing the Nazi Party, if they can be identified, absolutely. Identify them and throw them under the bus. But by the same token, these Antifa people that were doing what they were doing, identify them and throw them under the bus. This is bullshit. All right, number 10. Commit to 2 things. Fighting white supremacy where and how you can. This doesn't mean like taking up knitting unless you're making scarves for black and brown kids in need. And funding black and brown people at their work. This is, and Miss Helm also proposed these new super hip hashtags. Run us our hashtag run us our land. Hashtag reparations. Hashtag you gonna learn today. Hashtag run us our money. And I think that last one is what it all comes down to. Money. They want money. My ancestors, which is, we're talking 3 generations, immigrated here from Ireland. I hate to tell you this, but we didn't own any slaves. None of my ancestors owned any slaves. And in fact, my ancestors were treated like absolute crap when they got here. But that doesn't matter, because I'm Whitey and I had privilege. I had privilege coming out of my ass. I had privilege that I didn't even know about. I mean, privilege just rains from the sky, and I'm given money, and I'm given cars, and I'm given houses and jobs, and it doesn't matter if you can't perform because you're Whitey, and you get to keep it. But boy, if a black man doesn't break his back for you, he's gone. I've never heard. These people are truly to the point where evidently welfare isn't paying enough, and they are just looking for a way to get more money for doing absolutely nothing in their lives. This country, doesn't matter who you are, if you work hard enough and you want it bad enough, you can make it happen. But I guess they might miss Jerry Springer in the afternoon, and they can't do that. So that was the 10 demands from the BLM. I'm not a fan of the BLM, if you can't tell. And I'm also not a fan of this Chanel helm. As far as I'm concerned, she can go pack sand, freaking go knock on, what the hell's it, Al Sharpton's house door and see if he'll let you stay in his house. Another freaking loudmouth jerkweed who does nothing more than spread hate and fear. Anyway, I am the man from Orion. These are the 10 demands the BLM had put out after the Charlottesville incident. Let me know what you think. Put some comments down below. And we'll catch you next time.